They not like us, they not like us. Hello and welcome to Gaming Gain. My name is Muzz and I went to a concert all by myself. Yes, I've overcome um, one of my one of the things that I've still kind of left to do in my list of things that I've wanted to do, and that was to go to a concert all by myself. So I went last night to Kendrick Lamar and SZA, the Grand National Tour, and yeah, I paid about £55 for my ticket. So not the best view in the world, which we will get into regarding the staging, but Kendrick Lamar is my favourite artist. Currently, he's been that for a number of years now. Whenever he puts on a show, I do tend to try and go to it. I was very put off by the ticket prices. They've it seems like every time I've been, it's jumped like another £20. So I've saw him 4 times. The first time was back when he came with Eminem, so I can't remember how much that was. But first time I saw him was in the Hydro. It was about £50. Then he came a few years later to the Hydro. That was £70, and now you were looking at, for kind of the view I'd been getting, they were all seating tickets. It was looking about up to £100. So I was very put off by that, but I managed to find some for a lot cheaper. And just kind of going into the actual show, I really enjoyed it. Who would have thought? I thought, Kendrick delivered as he always does. He always puts on an interesting show. That this was definitely one that was more kind of the most spectacular. There was a lot going on in the show. The stage came out through the crowd. SZA was fantastic as well. She's an amazing singer. She's definitely. I do listen to her, and have listened to her for a number of years, but I definitely will be listening to her more. Probably don't listen to her as much as I should have, because she absolutely killed it. And then together they just have such amazing chemistry. The way the concert worked was quite interesting, because you assume when it's like two artists that one will just come out and do their set and the other one will come out and do their set. But they actually kind of interweaved into each other's show. It was really well produced. I thought the pacing of it was really good. Kendrick started it, came out and done, I think, 4 or 5 songs. Then SZA came out, done 4 or 5 songs, and they kind of occasionally would do like a duet together, and then they would one of them would leave and leave them to kind of do their own song. So I thought that was a good way to actually appreciate both artists, because I can imagine a lot of people being there for SZA. Imagine a lot of people being there for just Kendrick. So if Kendrick had come out first, I imagine maybe quite a number of people would have left for seeing him, and vice versa for SZA. So the fact that they kind of interweaved the show between each other, I thought was a really interesting way of doing it, and I actually think it was a really good way of doing it. As I say, it kind of allows you to appreciate both of them, and they have such fantastic songs together, but also individually. The As I say about the staging, it came out through the crowd, which made it a lot more interesting. The visuals, the photography, the cinematography, the just the whole kind of spectacle of the show was fantastic. The dancers, it was probably the best produced show I've ever seen live, in terms of just the feeling of it. Like, it felt like an event. It felt like a really it felt like a show, more to the point. It wasn't a concert. It was more a show. It was more a theatrical performance that they were putting on, with obviously their music, and it worked really, really well, I must say. There was pyro going off the whole show. Like, it started off, and like Kendrick started it off, and I was like, okay, bit of pyro. Then SZA gets a bit of pyro, but no, it was like every kind of. It was throughout the night. There was giant bursts of flames. It was the staging was all really impressive. So definitely felt I got my money's worth from that aspect of it. I mean, seeing Not Like Us perform live and being a part of that, was worth the price of admission alone, as well as Euphoria. Like, that is just such an unreal song, and he rapped it all, which was really amazing. But not like us, to be a part of those little bits where everybody knows the words and the volume goes up was it was pretty spectacular, it must be said. Do have a few downsides, because I am quite I want to be honest with my opinion. Where I was sitting, poor view of the stage, has to be said. There was points during the show where I couldn't actually see Kendrick or SZA, because there was a stage. The stage was like, there was like two screens, and then there was like a bit in here that I just couldn't see, and my angle from the side meant I couldn't really see the screens as well. So, I mean, I paid for the cheap seats, and yeah, that's what it felt like I got. I definitely was way off to the side, and I didn't like that aspect of it. I feel like you should be able to see the artist at all times, but obviously they had staging that they wanted to do, and some of the visuals that I could see using that element of the stage were really cool, especially with Kendrick, when he had there was like stairs and there was like dancers going back and forth. But that was a gripe. Also, Hamden, sort out your queuing systems and sort out your fast food, because my God, I waited an hour to get up to be told that there was nothing of what I wanted left, so I ended up having to have a crappy chicken burger, which didn't fill me up, and it was £8. I should have taken a picture of it because it looks so sad. It looks so sad, and it was all right. Like, if I'd have paid £3 for it, I'd have been okay. But £8, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Also, I feel like, and this is like, I obviously done a lot of concerts last year. I feel like the merch at concerts is absolutely crap. It is rubbish. Like, I walked past it, the vendors, and nothing stood out to me. And they're asking you to pay £50 for a t-shirt and £110 for a hoodie. I wonder what the markup is in that, because these designs are not elaborate. They must not be hard to print on. Let's say they obviously buy the hoodies in bulk, so I reckon they'd pay, let's go £10 for a hoodie. They pay £10 for a hoodie. Then maybe to get it printed on, they pay another £10. That's me being probably more than what they actually are paying for. And then £110 for a hoodie, £50 for a t-shirt. You would not find me paying money for that, and that's why I actually almost gave in and got a t-shirt, but I didn't. I stayed strong because I have principles, I have morals. I ain't paying £50 for a crappy design of a t-shirt. So, and that's not just Kendrick Lamar and SZA. That is across the board. Like, the past few shows I've been to, in fact, all of last year, when I went to doing a concert a month, I bought one piece of merch, and honestly, it's rubbish. Like, I shouldn't have bought it. It was £50. It was a t-shirt. It was Bring Me the Horizon. And thankfully I learned my lesson. There's just, like, up your game. Up your game if you want us to pay that much money. But yeah, overall, let's maybe talk about me going to the concert myself. It was a weird experience, I'm not going to lie. I was just hanging out myself. I got there early, probably a bit too early to be honest. I forgot DJ Mustard was there. He was out warming up the crowd before, and yeah, it was strange being there myself. It seemed like I wasn't the only one. I did manage to spy someone else who was there themselves, so that made me feel a little bit better. But yeah, just kind of done my own thing. And once the music came on, I was jamming away. I did talk to the kind of people around about me. We were talking about the concert, and we talked about like how it was kind of interwoven. I knew it was going to be like that, but they didn't. They thought it was just going to be like SZA and then Kendrick. But yeah, it was a good experience. I'm glad I've done it. I was kind of obviously sat off to the side. I'd like to do one now where I'm kind of in the crowd, standing, but that'll probably be like a lesser venue because of the prices of tickets. And yeah, I just love live music. Last year, obviously, I done quite a lot of concerts. This year, I couldn't, just due to timing and financial constraints. So definitely made me miss going to live music and live venues. So need to get back to that. Maybe look at cheaper ones. Definitely. Oh yeah. I feel like so he did Not Like Us, and then they ended on obviously him, Kendrick and SZA together doing Gloria, and oh my god, if this world were mine, like that one that I for whatever reason can't remember, because that's the better song in my opinion. I feel like just end it on Not Like Us as well. Like, come on, I'm sure SZA wouldn't mind ending on Not Like Us, because that is the song. That is the song that majority of people there want to see live. So to see it done twice would have been amazing. But that's just a small gripe of the show. I do have a few gripes of the show, to be honest. But overall, still had a great time. Still thoroughly enjoyed it, and happy that I went. So, when was the last music concert that you went to? Was it as spectacular as mine, or not? What do you prefer? Big venues, small venues? I personally prefer smaller venues, for obvious reasons, closer to the act, more intimate, that sort of thing. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've made it this far in the video, why not give us a subscribe, like, share, ring the bell, do all that good stuff, because we're past 200 now. So the next goal, I guess, is 500. Like, may as well. Can we get 500 by the end of the year? Is that too bold? I mean, the trajectory we're on, we've actually done pretty well. So, let's push it. Let's challenge ourselves. 500 by the end of the year. Anyway, with all that being said, all I have to say is any thoughts, comments, general hostile remarks, leave them below. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.